Welcome back to the Diary of a Startup Founder. So we are in a new location. We're at Ormeau Labs. And this is episode 1 of the Illuminate Series.
Whoop, whoop.
So I'm here with Claire and Ava. Hi, guys.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Fantastic. Ava's microphone keeps on dipping and dropping on her, but that's fine.
That's okay. So I just tell us a little bit about yourself, the background for the audience.
Sure. Ava, go ahead.
Okay, I'll go first. So, hi everyone. I'm Ava. I'm 18 and I'm actually from Belfast, which is sort of expected. And I suppose a lot of my work sits at the intersection of psychology, technology, education, and then more recently community building and stuff. Mm-hmm. I left school at 16. I started writing research when I was 12.
I'm gonna hold it
and then I left school at 16 because I just felt it was sort of too restrictive for me. And then since then I founded 2 tech startups, left them both, and now I'm working on Illuminate with Claire, which I'm super excited about.
Super duper excited.
Oh my God.
So yeah, how do you follow that, right? So I'm Claire. I'm also from Belfast, but I have not done half of the stuff that she's done in her short span on this planet so far anyway. So I'm absolutely delighted that I get to start building Illuminate with Ava and seeing where we can go. So as I said, from here originally, lived in North America for 18 years, moved back 10 years ago now, which is really exciting. So that's why my accent sometimes sounds a little bit funny. I did not go there for the weekend. I actually lived there. My kids are Canadian, so that's why I have the twang. Don't judge me for it. So I'm one of the co-founders of Ormeau Labs, which is a tech innovation hub right in the centre of Belfast. And I'm really, really passionate about how we can actually empower the next generation of technologists within Northern Ireland. But we'll get on to that.
Yes. So first I want to ask about how you guys got into community building. Mm-hmm. So how did you get interested in it? Where did it all start from?
Okay, well, I'll go first then.
Yep.
I think whenever I was younger, I was super stubborn. So a lot of it was questioning what I was told. So people would be like, you have to do things this way. And I would always be like, no, I'm going to do it this way. And I suppose a lot of the time what I was told made more sense, going from A to B, but I decided I had to see the entire alphabet in between. So a intense stubbornness and a lot of curiosity. And then I also just got bored really easily in school. I loved school, I loved learning, but I hated the fact that I couldn't explore things to the depth I wanted to explore them. Mm. And then I think the thing that's mainly started my interest in community building has been my own personal experience. Obviously, being a young founder, I founded my first startup when I was 16, there isn't a huge support system, especially in the tech world. Mm-hmm. And being a girl as well.
Yeah.
It was hard to find other young people who were interested in the same area. And then I got onto this summer program called Patch and I met a bunch of really cool young people, but it was all based down south and there was no form of community for young people in the north. So trying to build that up here is super important because that's what really accelerated my journey.
Yeah, which is huge. So really kind of similar. So I've always been massively passionate about humans. I think we're really interesting and I believe that we do better whenever we're put alongside each other. Everybody always mocks me, so I'll always say things like iron sharpens iron because I believe it's true. We need to be around other people so that you can knock the hard edges off each other and learn from each other. And whenever that iron comes against each other, it sparks new little fires and can create new little ignition points all over the place. So I think people, whenever we're together, are way better. And I love creating safe places for people to be able to do that. So in building out the community here at Ormeau Labs, that was always at the core piece of what's important for me. It's people. So really about what are people asking for and what do people really need in this moment and how can we then pull in the other people around that to support and help each other on our journeys together? Because we can't do it on our own. And so how do we facilitate those coming together of people learning from each other? So community's always massively been important to me. And now I get to join 2 different kind of communities, so the 2 communities of generations and stuff, if you could say, right? So you can join young people with people that are further a little bit on in their career journey or just in what they're passionate about, and really breaking down those barriers that can hold people back.
I love that. I guess teamwork is, at its best whenever everyone actually starts coming together.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely. And I also think as well, here's me going on my soapbox now, so everybody take. But I think that there is, in this kind of world that we live in right now, there's so much isolation. And people are kind of just hanging around with people that look like them or sound like them or think the same things as what they. And I think that's a really dangerous place for us all to be in. So creating communities and safe places where people can come together and learn from people that don't think like them or aren't like them is massively important. So if we're thinking about this from a 16 to 25-year-old through, I actually believe that, oh, look at me. I actually believe that we in my generation have a lot to learn from young people in the same way that young people have a lot to learn from our generation. And the more spaces that we can create for us to learn from each other, I think the better world we can create.
I love that. I love the way you put that, like young people learning from an older age group and vice versa.
Yep.
I feel like that's why the age range is 16 to 25, I'm guessing, because we got like teenagers, young adults.
Yep.
Like, putting them in a room together, like that's fun to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So is that something that inspired the story behind Illuminate? So coming together as a community was something that Illuminate is about.
Yeah, so Illuminate was kind of a amazing thing that came together really quite quickly. So last year, I stepped away from the day-to-day role of building the community here at Ormeau Labs and took some time out to really think about, well, what's next? What's going on, and just really be creative. We always say, leave kids to themselves and let them be bored, because then they can become creative, right? But as adults, we don't really allow ourselves to do that too often. So I was really fortunate to be able to have those 6 months. And at the end of that, I really sat and thought, well, what is it that I want to do, and where do I think my value can come in? And part of that was I wanted to do something where I worked with young people, and I wanted to do something that had impact. I think huge sweeping generalization again, but I don't believe my generation's done a really great job of being able to bring the next generation along with us. So I thought, oh, well, that would be really interesting if we could create something that could actually have ownership from my generation, being able to, reach back into the next generation and go, hey, you want to come and hang out with us and learn from us, and we want to learn from you. So a good friend of mine leads an organisation called Young Social Innovators, which is primarily an organisation that was based in the south of Ireland for 25 years old, which is fantastic, but really based around how young people can be the voice for change in the problems that they see around them, and really about elevating young people's voices. And he said, what about if there was a piece of technology that could come alongside to show how technology could be a tool that could empower young people to actually be able to raise their voices some more, which goes back to my playbook, which is always about, with Ormeau Labs, was about elevating founders' voices to hear what it was that they wanted and going out and finding those people. So Illuminate then has become, okay, how do we do this for young people? There's already a lot of great programs on the ground within Northern Ireland for young people, and even mentioning even the Patch program, right, which is primarily based in the south. But looking at, well, what are opportunities that we can join the dots for young people so they know that there's people who are interested in giving back. I'm always a big fan of paying it back to pay it forward. So, and basically being able to pass on knowledge across the way. So Illuminate came, I went out, was talking to a bunch of people, what are you doing? Went out to a bunch of young people and going, what are you asking for? Because that's the most important question. What are young people asking for, wanting and needing? And then I was fortunate enough to be introduced to Ava. And then it was just kind of like, shall we just do this together? And so, so off the races. And we're right at the beginning stages of it, but we're already gaining momentum. But really important that this is led by young people for young people, which is why Ava is the one who will be leading the charge on most of it, and I will be the older, very much older sister in the background, kind of helping facilitate and drawing things together. So both of us working together, but leaning into community, but leaning into what our skill sets are and where our passion drives us and different things.
I love that.
So anyway, sorry, I kind of...
No, it's okay.
Do you want to talk about that, or are you good?
I think just the only thing I really have to say on that is, like, the best things come out of whenever you're building with other people and not necessarily working in a team, but whenever you see other people around you, it always makes you aspire to be better, because there will always be somebody doing something cooler or something bigger or who's more advanced in one area, and being able to share those skill sets and see that and build together, or even just like build in tandem, it's the one thing that'll make a huge difference to whatever you're doing. Like building in isolation, it might seem fun at the time, but it is honestly one of the most like lonely and self-limiting things you can do. So I think just having that community is just super important.
I agree.
Of course. I'm so excited to be a part of it now.
I know. Me too.
So excited. But yeah, so I want to discuss the roles of yourself, like in the Illuminate program.
Yep.
So what role do you play, Ava?
I don't know. I suppose I don't really want to like give myself a specific role and like limit anything down, especially because we are so new. But I'd like to think I'll sort of be like, not quite where Claire is, because obviously you've got so much more experience than me.
Yes, but I've also got many more years on the tank compared to you too, so that's why. Yeah.
But I also have, I suppose, like a unique perspective and a lot of experience, more than most people my age.
Yes.
So being like a young person, like young people feel more comfortable talking to a young person.
Of course.
So being a young person, being able to chat to people and say like, hey, this is possible, and just showing them really what is possible. Because if you would have told me even a year ago what I've done now, I would be like, what are you talking about? Like, you're insane. Because I left school in October 2024, I think, and I was going to be a doctor. I was doing my A-levels and everything, and then I just wasn't doing it anymore. I was like, no, okay, I'm all done.
To be fair, you would have had a great bedside manner.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. But I really like people. Like, I love talking to people. That's my thing. I always wanted to be an ER doctor so I can meet as many people as possible. I never wanted to be like a GP and have a limited, I suppose, like pool of people. But yeah, and then I got onto the Patch program and I met Sarah Fryer. I got to like pitch her my startup idea, and literally that day I met so many people from inside Ormeau Labs. I met so many people from inside Dog Patch Labs and stuff, and from that like just catapulted me forward. So I think being able to like share that network as well is just literally the like most valuable thing I can do for anyone. Like, I'm not going to be able to offer anybody, like, because there's people out there who can offer people like insane grants and can offer people these really cool trips. I'm not going to be able to offer that, but I can offer like honest advice coming from a young person's point of view, and not even somebody who's walked the path before you, literally somebody who's walking the path beside you. Like, that's where I'm stuck right now.
I love that.
So yeah, I'm excited.
I think that's it for me. I see Ava as our community champion, right? She is out there. She is the one that's leading the charge.
I see her everywhere.
I know, right? But I agree. I've never been a fan of this is your title, this is what you do, this is your job description, because especially like we're building a startup, right? A startup community of sorts. And so we're going to have to do about 50 different roles all at once. Where my skill set and my experience will come in is I can help with the framework, the strategy, the oversight, pulling together the people that we know. I have a really good network of people who really want to pay it back to pay it forward. And so basically being able to unleash that talent and that knowledge of people who want to help with young people who are looking for mentors in that way. But this is not something that's really prescriptive as well. So as we're beginning, we're going, this is what we think is going to work right now. And we're going to try it. And we're okay if that doesn't work, because again, we want to be led by what young people are asking for, not by what we think that they need or what we think they're asking for. So yes, the initial few sessions that we'll be doing are basic vibe coding, going out and showing people what's going on with all of these new AI tools that are out there. But really, it's to open up a conversation and to learn and go, what is it that you're interested in? Oh, you're interested in sports technology? Great. Let's get a bunch of sports tech companies within Northern Ireland to actually showcase for you what it is that they're doing. Oh, you really want to learn this specific kind of coding? Great. Let's put you in contact with a specialist who's in that. And it's really being responsive to what it is that they're asking for, not prescriptive on our behalf. We'll obviously have bigger gatherings and frameworks to be able to pull all of that together. But this is a living, breathing glorious adventure that we're on, that we have absolutely no idea where it's going to go. But I think that's the magic in the middle of it.
That is the magic in the middle. That's what not knowing is like, you know, like, wow, let's see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that. But Ava, because you're kind of closer in age to like the participants in the program, what do you think like a lot of young people right now are missing in the entrepreneurship community?
I think the thing that is missing for young people in the entrepreneurship community is the community. Like, obviously, places like Ormeau Labs exist, like amazing places, but you don't walk in here and the demographic is like these 16 to 25-year-olds. It's just not, and it never has been, and it's not going to randomly change someday. So I think it's literally just the community is the thing that's missing, and a willingness as well to just build in public and get things wrong, because people are so willing to help a young person whenever they actually seem to be doing something and not even doing this like amazing thing where they're going to go super far and win a Nobel Prize. Literally just have an interest in something. There's so many people I've spoken to and it's like, oh, I'm just interested in this. And they're like, oh, I know this person who's also interested in this. I'll connect you with them. I think just that willingness to not quite be perfect or not quite be ready, which is totally understandable. I suppose it's like a community fear factor in a way, because I mean, like the systems that are in place right now, like school, whatever, they teach you, you have to be ready, you have to get your perfect grades, you have to build up to this, you have to prepare. But in the real world, there isn't a whole lot of preparation that goes into things, which I think we've learned from this in literally the last like 3 weeks. We were like, okay, this seems cool. Okay, let's just do it. And now it's launched, it's a real thing and it's happening. I think just the willingness to like build in public, get it wrong, try again and keep going. And that's the best way to gain experience. I think that's probably the biggest thing that's missing is just like that, one, the community mindset, and two, the mindset of not having to be perfect, because a willingness will beat a readiness every time. Like a willingness to try will beat a perfect candidate who's fully ready every time.
I mean, and you framed it well. We're building an Ormeau Labs for 16 to 25-year-olds. That's the equivalent kind of thing. And that's just a community of, listen, the world is on fire. We all know that, right? But we have to, all of us, choose what is it that we can do right now in the moment where we are that can maybe potentially change that. So I think looking at, well, what are the problems that face us around us that we maybe struggle with, or that we see our friends or our family struggling with? And, okay, what if I could actually come up with an idea or work alongside a bunch of other, like, of my peers who could begin to put a wee crack in the dam? And then, great, well then how do we put the wraparound support around you? Because we can only change what's right in front of us. But if we have the right tools to be able to do that, then again, we can make an impact. So I think community is and will always be at the core of what we do. So this isn't a program that people have to apply to come to. There's no qualifications or entry level for people to get into it. This is a community, and our hope is, like, we're going out all over Northern Ireland and the border regions and just looking at how can we join the dots for people in the different regions as well. So this isn't just a Belfast-centric community. We're looking at, like, we're going to Kilkeel at the end of this week. We're up in Derry. We're going to Enniskillen, and we're looking at, okay, how do we begin to illuminate in those areas what's possible for young people, but also eliminate even who's. I don't know, I'm using eliminate a lot, but it's a good word, because basically it is that you're shining a light on something, right? And that's all we want to do. We are not coming in going to provide all of this really technical support and help. That's not our role. We're a tech awareness piece of. And then being able to signpost, here's what's happening here. Here's the specialist that you should be talking to if you're interested in that. But our focus is really going to be on how do we draw young people together and let them learn from each other and open up doors of opportunity.
I love that. I feel like as I'm part of the age range as well.
Yep.
Still 21.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I feel like just talking with other people, as I was doing the Quest program, and just talking with other startup founders, like in that cohort, I learned so much within this is just within 2-3 months.
Right.
Like so many like new perspectives and like new ways of thinking, and I feel like it's also going to increase the entrepreneurship scope in Northern Ireland. I feel like Belfast doesn't have that much help around entrepreneurship, and I feel like this is exactly what young people need right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it has a lot. I think Belfast has a lot of help around entrepreneurship for if you're a little bit older or whatever.
Yeah,
But for young
for young
people, I
people.
agree. But that's great. So
Exactly.
there's a little bit of that's needed. So
Yeah.
we have enough resource here. We have enough people who are willing. We have enough specialists. But let's draw them together as well. And being out and chatting to a bunch of different people who are, technologists who are in their field, who have been doing stuff for companies that are out there doing, and we're going in and going, oh, this is what we're doing. And people go, great, how can I get involved? How can I support? What is that? And this is not going to be a massive request of people's time.
Yeah.
It's almost like we're just joining the dots in different ways. Which I think is exciting from both sides of the coin, right? It's exciting for young people, and it's exciting for people who are a little bit further on in their careers. Like, I've got so much energy. I mean, I'm obviously an energetic person anyway, but I've got so much energy. Everybody's rolling their eyes in the room. But I've got so much energy even being around Ava and, we could do this and do this, and that's in that short, and yourself, right? And, what about this? And for me, what's been really great is both of you have come, well, maybe we could do a podcast. And I'm like, that was Thursday. And I'm like, right, well, let's do it on Monday. Right.
Exactly.
And here we are. And we've got the facilities. We've got everything. We've got the fabulous Rosie helping us out. Right. And so those things are possible. So it's almost like I see that as my role is, great. Now let's make that happen then. And I think if we are unleashing so many other people within the tech scene within Northern Ireland and across Ireland, then how much more opportunity are we presenting for young people, and what kind of world are we going to be creating?
I love that. I'm excited to be part of that world.
I know, me too.
Excited. So, like, for the people who are watching this, like some of them might, they'll be applying for the Illuminate program right now. They're just going on the laptop being like, what is this? What's going on? Or some of them have already applied. So what do you think are like the common mistakes that young founders make when they're starting their first projects?
I think, again, it's that like feeling that they have to be perfect. I think the biggest mistake they make is not starting sooner. Like, the second you get the idea, act on it. Don't leave it to like fester, because the longer you leave it, you're missing like huge windows of opportunity. And I hate to be that person, because a lot of the time age won't be on your side, and people look at you and be like, oh, you're young, like you're just sort of on a whim, like, oh, it'll pass. But you will meet people where age will be on your side. They'll see a young person and they'll be so much more willing to help you because you're young, and because you're ambitious, and because you're curious, and because, again, like you said earlier, you can bring that energy that I suppose is like missing in a lot of places. So I think the biggest mistake that's made is just not starting, or this fear of being unready, or not being perfect yet, because you will never be perfect. Like, I don't think we were in the perfect position to start there, but there is no perfect position. That's just not going to happen. So I think just go for it. Just start. Just do something. Even if you have the idea and you have no idea how you're going to get to the end product, you will meet people along the way once you've started talking to people to get you to that end product. But you can't get to the end product unless you start talking to people. So I think just talk to people, talk to literally anyone, send a million emails if you have to. That's what I did. It worked really well. I mean, you might send I sent 3,000 emails in one day. I think I got like 100 responses, but that's like 2,900 no's. But 100 responses was like an 100% increase on where I was at the start of the day, with zero help from anybody.
Of course.
So just talk to people, just start, literally just start.
Just start, make the first move.
Yeah, definitely.
I love that. So what do you think has, like, from your personal experience of like community building, what do you think you have learned? So something like a personal development on your side?
I think one of the massive pieces that I have always learned is that never be afraid to go into rooms where you don't where you have no idea what people are saying. So I am I've over the past like 8 years been involved in building something within the tech sphere. I'm tech aware. I'm not technical, right? So I go into rooms alongside people who are saying all these things, and I'm going, I don't know what that means, but here's what I do know, and here's how I know how that could work together. So I think it's, don't be afraid to go into rooms where maybe you don't have the same level of skill or the level of understanding, because the amount that I've actually grown and learnt from being alongside other people is massive. But also just the ability then for me is, you know, like the Illuminate Labs website, like I built that using AI tools and everything. I'd never done anything like that before, but I just kind of went in and then went to my friends who I know to go, am I doing this right? Does this seem right? And they're like, yeah, keep going. But it was very much, you know, I was able to draw on those resources that I've been able to pull into. But again, it's for me, what I've really learned as well is to listen and not have to use this too much. So listening to what's going on around you and then being responsive to, oh, well, how can I help in that moment? So what connections do I have? What skill set do I have? Or how can I just be a safe place? And how do we create safe places for people has been massively what I've learned in the middle of that. What about you?
I think I'm like along a similar track of just imposter syndrome is going to be a given.
Yeah.
Like whether you're walking into a room for the first time or whether you're creating the room for people to walk into for the first time, everybody who comes in is going to feel the imposter syndrome. Like I was running these monthly meetups for young people and it was genuinely like pulling teeth trying to get people in because I knew the perfect people to come. I was messaging them all and they were like, well, I'm just not sure I'd be a great fit. Like, I'm kind of nervous. And I was like, no, I know you're nervous, but just come along. It'll be fine. Like, I promise you it'll be fine. So I think definitely being that safe space for people, like the first time they're going to be so nervous. But if you can create that safe space and you can, I suppose, like reduce that stigma again of having to be perfect or like having to be ready, then it reduces that imposter syndrome in return and invites far more people in. It's like a flow. So yeah, just definitely imposter syndrome's a given.
I love that. One of my friends, she started a startup company and she was not like prepared. Like she wasn't too confident about her product, but then she sent it out. She was like, I want feedback. I want to know what people think about it.
Right.
So I think it's the same analogy here as well. Just talk to people. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be perfect about whatever you're doing.
Right.
Just, there's always like room for improvement for whoever it is, I suppose.
Yeah.
But I think that's something I'm going to take on as well from today. I learned something as well. But yeah, what do you hope for Illuminate in the future? Like after 10 years down the line, do you think how
10 years? Jeepers, I'll be 61.
I'll almost be 30.
What about you? I have some thoughts, but
I think I wanted to be like a living, breathing like organism. Like I wanted to like, obviously right now we have young people coming in and I suppose like taking from the community and we have professionals or like mentors giving back to the community, to the young people. But obviously these young people are going to like move up the pipeline and I'd like to think that if in 10 years we're still doing great things, then some of these young people who are say, I don't know, like between 20 and 25 now will be able to, I suppose, like give back and it's like a big circle.
Yeah.
That and definitely just like almost being like the go-to name of like, oh, I want to do this in tech, but I don't know who to talk to. Oh, I'll go to Illuminate. Like just like being, I suppose, the go-to for people to know we're there. I'm not saying that everybody has to know we're there, but it's about having the right people know we're there to make the right connections. So it's like that like intersection. I'd say that's what I would hope for.
Well, I couldn't say it any better. But I think for me, agree, it has to be living, breathing. This is not, this is something this is what it's going to look like. Like we don't even know what it's going to look like at the end of this week. But for me, it is that piece of how do we unleash a whole new generation of people who will want to pay it back to pay it forward and just encourage people to just go, this is the right thing to do. Because somebody did it for you, but also because it actually makes you feel good to give back and feel like you're part of something bigger, and to see that what we have and what we've been given is for us to share, not for us to hold on to ourselves. So I think, there's a big world out there with a lot of problems that need solving. And the more that we can gather people together to come together and have ideas and work alongside each other and figure out what you do better than what I do, I think the more we can create spaces for that, the better. So let's see where it goes. But for now, we're beginning something, and I'm sure we'll break it about 50 times in the middle. But we'll always be leading from a place of what are people asking for, and how do we respond to that, and who do we know that can make this better. And this isn't about us building something; it's about us
young people
starting to do something, and then. My hope is, and it always is, that you begin something and then you make yourself unneeded. and you start to back off because something takes place and does what it needs to do in the world. So
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like after 10 years, I'll be coming back to Illuminate as well. To like, so who's podcasting it now?
who knows, right? But I mean, it's a fun thing to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just to finish off, I want to ask you both, what does Illuminate really mean to you? Like just that word, like when you come up with Illuminate, what did you think?
For me, it was really it. So I love words, and I think words are very important. I think names are very important, right? So I think that says a lot. So Illuminate for me really is about shining a light. It's about where there's maybe a place where it's a little bit dark, where nobody really knows what's going on there, is that you can shine a light on it and you can expose what's out there and what's existing. And then people are more more capable of going into something that they know what it is. That's it. I mean, it's the simple. It is what it says on the tin. It's about turning the light on and flicking the switch.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think before this we were literally talking about what we're hoping to be soon. We were talking about how we have an event in Kilkeel and then we have one in Enniskillen. I think you used the analogy of like lots of little fires. So I think it's about like lighting up lots of different people in lots of different places and allowing them to be visible to each other and be visible to other people. So yeah, just like illuminating people, illuminating opportunities, just shining a light on what's available to people, who's available to talk to.
Yeah. Massively important.
I love that. Well, thank you so much, you guys, for joining the Dare for Startup Founders.
Thank
so
you.
Yes, so that was episode 1 of the Illuminate
episode
series.
1.
Yes,
And then we get a bunch of other
we will.
young founders that are doing stuff and wanting to change the world, and
I can't wait to talk to all of them.
Right?
Can't wait to talk to all
wait.
of them.
It'll be
Thank you
great.
so much, guys.
Woo-hoo. Thank you.